The doors to the Viridian Tea House are open once more. Hello everyone, thank you for coming into my tea house as always, and just spend a few minutes talking about some books, some tea, some really cool artwork, and just to chill for a while. So my two books today are children's books, but I have been really enjoying reading children's books in being 50 years old. There's some amazing books out there that are just, they're colorful, they're hopeful, they make you cry, they make you laugh. And I also want to say that both of these books I found out about both of them after doing an online conversation Zoom chat with Michael Threets. If you don't know who that is, he is this hip and happening library dude who's on social media. I follow him on Instagram, and he is all about library kids and library adults, and having fun isn't hard when you got a library card. Thanks, Arthur. And so the library that had the conversation had a list of books that he recommended, and these two books were part of the list. So if you're ready, let's do this. So the first book, I have to say, it made me a little sad, but also really hopeful too. You know, it reminded me of when I was a kid, and even being a young adult too, that being weird is not a bad thing. So welcome to Weirdo by Tony Weaver Jr. and Jes Cin Wibowo. This was one of the coolest graphic novels I've ever read in my life. And let me read the back of it for you. Through bravery and the power of friendship, a new hero is born. 11-year-old Tony Weaver Jr. loves comic books, anime, and video games, and idolizes the heroic, larger-than-life characters he finds in them. But his new classmates all think he's a weirdo. Bullied by his peers, Tony struggles with the hurt of not being accepted and tries to conform to other people's expectations. After a traumatic event shakes him to his core, he embarks on a journey of self-love that will require him to become the hero of his own story. And this was an uplifting story. This was a sad story. There are some moments where it gets kind of dark. But as I've realized that even in the darkest moments, there's that one pinprick of light. You always have to remember that there is light. There's still light. And he finds it, and he turns his life around and changes for the better. Well, actually, I take that back. He doesn't change. He stays the same, but he's no longer ashamed of who he is and being a weirdo who likes anime and comic books and things like that. This is a great book to have for kids who are kind of going through difficult times, you know, who feel like they don't fit in and that their interests are not seen as cool or hip or whatever by the other school kids, that it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be different. If you're into anime, comic books, for me it was Greek mythology. Like, I used to read the big Greek myth books, and I would just pour through the different myths and legends. Like, I was fascinated with that kind of stuff. And so with Tony Weaver Jr., he has this beautiful world, and it's a shame that people on the outside don't see it for what it is. But he comes to realize that, yes, my world is beautiful, and that there are others out there with their own worlds who find his world and their world beautiful. This was a beautiful, beautiful story. So Weirdo by Tony Weaver Jr. does receive 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. This can be read by all ages. You don't have to be a kid, you don't have to be a tween or whatever. If you like a good story, if you like reading a story that is uplifting, that you see someone almost fall but gets back up on their own 2 feet to really say, you know what, I like who I am. That's it. I like who I am. Then Weirdo is for you. So many thanks to Tony Weaver Jr. for this incredible book. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed reading it. Thank you. So the second book, also on Michael Threets' list, was a book that also appealed to me because I too have been like the little girl in this book, and these two books really got me. I was like, oh, this is nice. This is really nice. I wish these books had been around when I was little, but that's okay. I get to read them now. And this one is Books Make Good Friends by Jane Mount. I hope I said that right. Yes, Mount. And as you can see, Lottie, who's the little girl, is surrounded by her favorite books. So let me read the dust jacket for you. There we go. Lottie isn't sure why she wants to make friends. She's shy and doesn't really know how. While everyone around her is playful, outgoing, and loud, Lottie prefers a quiet place and a book to read. Lottie loves books. To her, they are full of magic and aren't as scary as new friends. But perhaps Lottie's books can show her how to find magic in everyday moments, and maybe the friends she can share this magic with are closer than she thinks. Iconic bibliophile creator Jane Mount makes her children's book debut in this imagination-driven story of a shy book lover's attempt to open her mind and find joy with the people around her. In a journal-esque narrative, which includes fun recommended reads on every page, which, by the way, if you do read this book, have like some pen and paper nearby because you're gonna want to write down some of the books that are suggested in this book. Books Make Good Friends celebrates the avid reader, demonstrates how books make you better, and reassures anyone who has been anxious or uncertain about facing the real world. And about Jane Mount, she's an illustrator, designer, writer, and maker of things, particularly things for people who love books. She's the creator of Ideal Bookshelf, the author and illustrator of Bibliophile and Illustrated Miscellany, and the illustrator and co-author with Jamise Harper, hope I said that correctly too, of Bibliophile Diverse Spines. She lives in a log cabin on Maui with her husband, 3 cats, and 2 dogs. She really loves books. And what's really cool is at the end of the book, there is a recipe for the cookies that Lottie makes for her new friends. It's called Lottie's Friend Making Cookies. You can make about 40 to 45 cookies, and you can actually do this recipe. So I have plans on doing this recipe. But so the title, Books Make Good Friends, I thought of it as 2 ways. So yes, books make wonderful friends. You know, when you go into a library or a bookstore, you never know what you're gonna find. You know, you might have an idea of a certain kind of book you're looking for, but then there's this other book that catches your eye and you read it and you're kind of like, well, maybe, I don't know. And then you decide to take it home and you're so glad that you got it. And it's a new friend. But then also, the other part of the title is reading a book about certain subjects can lead you to making new friends. So while books are good friends, also the people and circumstances that happen because of the books become good friends as well. But this is a colorful book, and I like the fantasy part of it. Lottie has a special friend that gently pushes her out into the real world to say, you know what, take a chance, there's nothing wrong with it, you'll always have your books, but try this or try that. The world has magic. The world is magic. And if you just take a moment to look and find it, you'll find it. So Books Make Good Friends by Jane Mount does receive 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. Once again, another excellent book recommended by Michael Threets. I totally enjoyed reading both of these books, and I even gave them to my boyfriend to read too. I was like, you have to read these books, you have to. So many thanks to Tony Weaver Jr. and Jane Mount for these incredible books. All right, so getting to the tea portion, like I said, I've got 2 new blends for my tea company, and let me start with the one that I didn't make. So when I started this business, I had no idea what I was doing, and I was listening to everybody else's opinion and thoughts, and I didn't trust myself. So 9 years later, you know, I got 40 some odd blends, and I now know what to do, how to do it, because making mistakes is how you learn. That's just how it goes. So with many of my blends, I have, Viridian Gray, which is the Earl Grey, Viridian Jasmine, also Viridian Mint for the Moroccan mint. But I said, I'm looking for just a regular kind of like house blend, something that really reflects Viridian Tea Company. I mean, yeah, I got Goth Librarian and Quantum Mechanics and all the other kind of blends, but just something that is simple, tastes good, and reflects, like I said, what the company and I are all about. So say hello to the VTC blend. And this is nothing more than sencha green tea with hibiscus. That's it. So when I thought about creating this blend, I thought, okay, Viridian, a lot of people don't know what Viridian is. Viridian is a color. It's kind of like a bluish green. And it also reflects my creativity, my span of it. So I thought, okay, well, this tea is going to be a green tea. Easy. And then I thought, okay, so Viridian Tea Company is about creativity, expressing yourself, being bright, and looking at the world and diving into it. And then I thought, well, what's the one ingredient that would go really well with sencha tea and would reflect that part of Viridian Tea Company? And I thought, hibiscus. And thus VTC blend was born. I had actually created this years ago, but I executed it wrong. And like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. But now the VTC blend will be available on my website, viridianteacompany.com. And I will put the link to my online store on the video so you can order to your heart's content. I do have it in both regular and sample sizes. So grab a bag when you can. And now the second blend goes with one of my recent re-releases, Ceylon Tea on Thursday. So just on the back of my book. Ceylon Tea on Thursday is an eclectic collection of stories that shows the beauty of the human spirit. A lonely woman who can control the weather, a successful author who discovers deep love in the arms of someone quite unexpected, the past colliding into the present by way of poetry, an older man who finds himself through painting, and a professor and his former grad student take the time to breathe and enjoy tea on a rainy day. So I had initially self-published this and didn't like how I executed it, lesson learned. And I said, I can make this better. So I rearranged some things and I changed the title and I said, Ceylon Tea on a Thursday. That kind of covers what I'm talking about. So most of my books do have a tea blend. So say hello to Ceylon Tea on Thursday blend. And this is Ceylon tea mixed with lemongrass, ginger, and blueberries. I thought that this would be the perfect tea blend to go with this book. It's very eclectic, and I think the ingredients would mesh very well with the story subjects. So from me to you, a lovely cup of Ceylon tea on Thursday. Oh, wow. That's incredible. All right, so this is the first time I've actually tried this tea, and this is delicious. I'm already getting the blueberries and the ginger. The Ceylon is kind of that base. The lemongrass is kind of mingled in with the blueberries, and I'm getting just a little hint of the citrus that comes into the fruit. But overall, this is a great cup of tea. I know not everybody's into ginger. I will put pounds of ginger into tea if I could. I love the spiciness, and it's also good for your gut health as well. But all of those ingredients have blended really well. Like I actually made this a while ago, but I ended up having a common cold and that knocked me out for about a week. So I said, okay, at least I did this before I got really sick. So this is an incredible tea blend. That is really good. And as I'm talking, I'm still tasting the blueberries. It's lingering. This is really, really nice. So I have the tea. I will have the tea and the link to the book again on allmylinks.com, and I'll put the link in the video so you can order the tea and the book. The book won't come from me, it'll come from Amazon, but the tea will come directly from me. And I do have regular and sampler sizes as always. So yeah, that's really good. So that leads us to the breathing water and tea meditation. For those of you who are new to this, welcome, yokoso, bienvenue. We're just going to focus on our breathing. There's no chanting. We're not going to focus on any kind of image. We're just going to take a few seconds out of our day to just breathe. And this always does happen, including with me, your brain is going to wander. It just happens. So if you can, freeze the image, mentally tell yourself thinking, and allow the image to go on its way, and you just return to the breath. If this is your first time meditating, don't beat yourself up. It happens. I mean, I've been meditating for years, and I still get caught up in thoughts. I'm like, shopping list, and oh my God, that was such a funny meme. And I'm like, wait, thinking. Get back to breathing. Make sure you have a glass of water or a cup of your favorite tea nearby. Find yourself in a comfortable position in a quiet part of your house or apartment. And if you're ready, let's begin. And now let's end this breathing meditation with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly open your eyes or allow your eyes to come back into focus. And now let's have a sip of your water or tea. Oh my God, that is so amazing. It really is amazing. So that is all I have for today. Many thanks to the two children's authors for their incredible books. Thank you so, so much. To all of y'all for watching these videos. As always, I cannot thank you enough. I appreciate it. And I love reading the comments. I love it, love it, love it. Like one of the recent videos I did, one woman was so happy that I reviewed the last act, the final act of Juliet Willoughby. So many thanks for your comment. I loved it. It made me tickle purple. And also to the good folks at Viridian Tea Company for their wonderful tea blends. And like I said, you can order the tea and books once I post the link on the video, and I hope you'll check me out if you haven't done so already. So until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Raise your Medusa cup high, and remember that to drink tea is to enjoy life. I will see y'all really soon. Bye for now.